Hey, what's up, School of Health Professions? It's Coach May. I am accompanied by Selena, Brandon, and Jalen. These three are going to be helping me conduct today's workout. And like with all of our workouts, we're going to have a nice dynamic warm-up. So let's go ahead and start off. We are going to be backpedaling to this line, and then we're going to be jogging forward to me, okay? Ready, and go. Awesome. Stay nice and low. Go ahead and bring it on back to me. And then we're going to do that 2 more times. So back pedal on back. We're just trying to get that heart rate up. We're just really trying to get their body moving, get the blood pumping. And we got 1 more time, down and back. There we go. Good. Way to stay nice and low, cover some ground. Bring it on back, bring it on back. Awesome. There we go. All right, everyone, I want you to go ahead and face me. And now what we're going to do, we're going to go ahead, drop down into an athletic base, get nice and low. Now what we're going to do, we're going to be shuffling down to the side. Now with your shuffles, we're going to be doing several different reaches with our arms. So we've got a T-swing with our arms, so we're going to be bringing the arms across the body. We've got I swings, where we're going to be bringing them up and above our head. And we have O swings, where we're going to be bringing them up and over in a circular fashion, okay? So we're going to start off shuffling down and back with T swings going across the chest. Ready? And go. Really try to open up those arms, open up the chest. Good, and bringing it back. Good. Nice. And now we've got our I swings. So get nice and tall with your I swings. Nice and tall with your I swings. And go. There we go. Good. And bring it on back. Great. Okay, now we've got our O swings. O swings. So really try to get a nice, good O. Be nice and relaxed with your arms. This is something that's just to get them warmed up and moving. So just get them up and overhead and bring them back around, okay? Ready? Go. There we go. Good. Cool. There we go. Awesome. All right. So now let's go ahead. We're going to face forward. Now all I want you guys to do is do some knee tucks. So we're going to grab our right knee, tuck it to the chest, drop back down, grab that left, tuck, and we're just going to alternate. We're going to go for 3 per side for a total of 6. Okay, and go. Good, nice tuck. Good. Now if you want a little bit more bang for your buck, you can watch what Brandon just did, how he raised up on his tippy toe to get that extra bit of stretch. All right, we're going for 3 per side, and then we're going to switch over to our next one, which is going to be our cradle, okay? So when we cradle, we're going to grab that knee, grab that shin or that ankle, pull on up, drop on down, switch sides, and do the same thing on the other side, okay? 3 per side for a total of 6. Ready, and go. Good, get a good stretch. Really going to be working on some balance here too. But this is a really good one to stretch out the glutes, kind of get those knees moving around a little bit. Great, good work. Stay nice and stable, pace yourself a little bit. Don't want to go too fast. Great, and then whenever we finish this one up, next one we're going to do is going to be a quad pull. So with your quad pull, you're just going to get nice and tall, grab that foot, reach up, switch, and reach up. If you want a little bit more quad activation, what you can do, grab, and you can lean forward, come back, grab, and lean forward on that one, okay? So like the other two, we're going to go for 3 per side, getting a really good quad stretch on these ones, okay? So if you're a little tight, go with that one that has a lean to it, okay? And go for it. Okay, nice stable base of support. Stability starts with the foot, so really try to visualize grabbing the ground with your foot to create a nice stable base. Keep the core engaged and just hinge forward for a good quad stretch here. Okay, good. Number 3 per side. Awesome, finish that one up. Nice, and the next thing we've got some hip circles. So with our hip circles, we're just gonna go ahead, get a nice wide base. Hands are gonna be on the hips, and we're just gonna rotate around in a circle, pushing our hips as far to the side, back, side, and front as we can. We're gonna go for 3 rotations per side, and then we're gonna reverse and do the same thing on the other side, okay? Ready, and go for it. Good. Yep. Good. Stay nice and relaxed. Drop the torso down. Good. Really pushing the hips all the way around. Good work. Remembering to breathe throughout the warm-up. There you go. If you got tight hips, this is going to be one of those exercises and stretches that's really going to help loosen those up a little bit. Nice, there we go. And like I said, 3 per direction. When you guys finish up that 3, you're gonna go ahead, shake out the legs if you need to, because then we're gonna get into a little bit of our mobility work here. Okay, awesome. All right, so like I said, for those who have tight hips, we got a couple stretches for you. So the next one we're gonna do is gonna be what's called a hip pop-up. Now, how you do a hip pop-up, you're gonna have your feet lined up about hip to shoulder width apart. You're gonna go ahead, you're gonna go arms up in the air, drop down, grab the toes, drop your butt down to the floor. Now notice how my arms are on the insides of my knees. You don't wanna be here. I wanna keep those knees driven out because we're really trying to open up the hips on this one, okay? So you can either have your hands down on your feet, or you can be like this, but we're not slunched over. We're not here. We're nice and tall with it, so have some extension with the back. Then once we're down in this position, we're just gonna go ahead, we're gonna raise our hands and stand up, and that's gonna reset our hip pop-up, because then we're gonna get back down and do the same thing right there, okay? We're gonna go for 3 hip pop-ups, so let's go ahead, start hands up. Okay, drop down, touch toes, and drop the butt to the floor. Okay, one coaching cue we like to do is if you have a logo on your shirt, we'd like to see it, so really try to present your chest. Okay, let's go right arm up, left arm up, and stand up, and that's 1. All right, let's go ahead, go back down, and down. Right arm, left arm, up. And that's 2, okay? We got 1 more. Ready, down, down, up, up, up. Boom, there we go. All right, so that's a little bit of our hip mobility right there. Okay, so now that we're a little bit more mobile, a little bit more loose, we're gonna go ahead and transition into a little bit of our activation and mini band work. All right, so now that we finished up the first portion of our warm-up, now we've got our mini band work. So the first exercise we're gonna have us do are going to be our monster walks. Now with our monster walks, I want you guys to envision a monster. They've got a really big, wide step. They take really large steps as well. So you're gonna sink down nice and low in like an athletic base, and you're just gonna take really big steps coming forward. They're gonna go for 5 yards, and then they're gonna go backwards for 5 yards with that monster walk. After they finish their monster walk, they're gonna transition into crab walks. Crab walk, you're gonna be in your athletic base, mini band around the ankles. You're gonna pick the feet up. You're gonna be walking out to the side. Okay, once again, 5 yards one direction, 5 yards the other direction. After that, they're gonna be doing what's called an in and out, where you start with your feet in, you step out, you're in, you're out, you're in, you're out, and eventually it'll start making a C in the ground. They're gonna go 5 forward and then 5 backward. Okay, then finally after that one, they're gonna go ahead and they're gonna walk forward a couple steps, drop down and squat. And for this one, they're actually gonna bring their mini band up to their knees. So remember, bring the mini bands up to the knees. So take a couple steps and squat, okay? And then the very last one we're gonna do is gonna be a glute bridge with mini bands around the knees, okay? So you guys ready to get started? All right, so first one, monster walks. Ready? And go. Good, stay nice and low, picking up the feet. Good, nice big steps, there you go. Awesome, and then take it backwards once the feet touch the line. Keeping some good separation between the band, or between both of your feet, so really stretch out the band. Remembering to point your toes forward on these, okay? Okay, now we're gonna go ahead, face this direction, and we've got our crab walks. And go. Okay, good. Good. Good work, good work. Making sure we're picking up that back foot. What you don't want is to drag that back foot. So you don't want here, you want nice, deliberate steps where you're picking up both of your feet for these ones. Okay, now that we've finished those up, we've got our in and outs. In and outs, remember, stepping in and then out. Okay, 5 yards. Nice. Be nice and in control. Nice big steps to cover some ground. Get a lot of good glute activation out of these, okay? These are really good for getting that blood moving locally throughout the legs and the glutes. Good. Nice. Guys are almost there. You got it. And word of caution, these do burn. You will feel the burn on these ones, okay? All right, so now we're gonna go ahead, bring those bands up to the knees for our squats. We're just gonna go ahead, take a few steps, and they're only gonna go to this 5 yard line. So you're gonna take a few steps, squat on down as low as you can, a couple more steps, and squat on down, okay? Ready? And go for it. And squat. Good, take a couple steps. And squat on down. Brandon, go ahead, widen out your feet just a little bit. Okay, there you go. And squat on down. There it is, nice. And squat, and this mini band is meant to drive your knees in. So what you need to do is drive your knees out. So in your last one, Jalen, go ahead and drive those knees out. There you go. Try to get some good separation between those knees to really activate those glutes on the lateral sides. All right, cool. Now that we finished up our walks, we're going to go ahead, get into a seated position, and we're going to be in our glute bridge. Okay, and just like my last cue, we have this mini band around our knees to pull them in closer together. That is our danger zone. Collapsed knees, or knees in a valgus position, is where a lot of injuries occur, a lot of non-contact injuries occur. So what we want to do is, if this is one of your problems, we want to strengthen up the muscles on your lateral sides so that they can pull your knees into the correct and safe position, okay? So that's what this mini band is doing, right? So it's driving you in, and you need to drive out, which is actively strengthening up the lateral glutes, okay? So we're gonna be in a glute bridge position. If you remember glute bridge position, you're gonna be down, hands down to the side. You're gonna dig your heels into the floor, driving your hips up as high as you can. And with that mini band on, you wanna drive those knees out, come on down, and we're up. And we're just gonna float through this for 10 reps, okay? All right, ready? And go for it at your own pace. Good. And then try to really squeeze the glutes, okay? So keys for this one is squeeze the glutes as hard as you can. Really get those hips up off the floor. Cue that we like to use is push your belt buckle up to the ceiling, okay? So your belt buckle, your waistband is up front. Try to drive it up as high as you can to the ceiling. Good work. These look really good, guys. Okay, good. Remember, going for 10 reps. And Brandon, keep your feet planted into the floor. So the whole foot. There you go. Yep. And then push that band out. There you go. Nice. Good work. Okay, cool. So that is our mini band activation, our mini band work. We did our walks. We did our monster walks, our crab walks, our in and outs, our squats, and we did our glute bridges. By now, those glutes should be really activated. Blood should be flowing in them, and you should be ready for our next portion of our workout. All right, so now that we finished up our mini band work, we're gonna get into our core activation. Our first exercise is going to be bear crawl variations. So to start off with a bear crawl, you're gonna be down in an all fours position. Your knees should be stacked directly underneath your hip. Your hands should be stacked directly underneath your shoulder for a nice stable base of support. Once you do that, you want to activate your core, so really squeeze and lock on down. Once you're there, you're going to raise knees off the ground, keeping a nice tabletop back. You don't want the butt too high, you don't want it too low, but right about here is going to be your bear position. Now when you're here, your job, you want to actively push into the ground. So you don't want to be sunken in, you want to actively push down into the ground. And then out of this position, we've got several variations of a bear crawl that we can do. So our first variation, Selena here is going to be doing a march. She's going to be alternating hand and foot off the ground. Jalen is going to be just actively holding in an isometric position. And then Brandon is going to be doing isometric but contralateral, which means he's going to be doing opposite hand, opposite leg, isometrically holding per each side. So we're going to go for 30 seconds. It's going to be 30, 30, and we're going to go 30 seconds, split into 15 seconds so that he can switch sides halfway through. Okay, you all ready? All right. We're getting started in 3, 2, 1, and up. Okay, remember, try to keep those knees stacked right underneath. Keeping that nice tabletop position, so activate that core, keep everything nice and tight. Brandon, you can switch sides. Good work, stay nice and stable. Good stuff, we are almost there. We've got 5 seconds. 3, 2, 1, and done. Awesome, there we go. Okay, so that's gonna be our bear crawl variations. Now what we're gonna do, we're gonna switch into our next exercise, which is gonna be our rollouts and our walkouts. Now for these, you might need a couple pieces of equipment, but if you don't have them, it's not gonna make or break your exercise. So we've got ab wheel rollers. You can use these, but if you don't happen to have an ab wheel roller, what you can do is you can do what's called a walkout. So when you're doing a walkout, key points for this, which will also transfer over to your rollout, you're going to be in all fours position. You're going to walk those hands out, nice small steps, making sure that you keep your core engaged the entire time, so you don't want to drop the hips down. You want to keep the core nice and activated. You're going to walk out as far as you can, and then you're going to walk on back in. Now, when I say walk out as far as you can, there is going to be a point where we like to call it the point of no return, where you get to a spot where you just happen to go too far, you start shaking, you really don't think you're going to be able to come back. That's when you're going to want to come back, because if you go out any farther than that, that's when you're going to fall, right? So you're going to walk out, nice small steps, And you're gonna walk on back in, and it's gonna be the exact same for the wheel, where you're gonna be here, keeping the core activated, not sinking the hips, but I'm right here, keeping everything nice and stable, rolling out, and coming back in, okay? So we're gonna be doing that for 30 seconds, walking out or rolling out, and yeah, let's do it. You ready? Getting started in 3, 2, 1, go. Nice and in control. Remembering not to sink the hips down. Stay nice and stable. Good, nice, good work, good work. Good, and pull back in. So when you guys are starting to pull back in, really try to squeeze those abs to lock yourself on back in. And they're doing a great job at it right here. You guys have 3 seconds left. And time. Good work. Great, bring it on back in, finish that last rep. Okay, so that was our core activation, and now we're gonna go ahead and move on to our next exercises. So our first exercise is going to be our alternating lateral lunges. For your lateral lunges, what you're going to do, you are going to be lunging out to the side, returning back to your base, alternating sides, and coming back to the base. How this is different from a lateral squat. A squat, your feet are going to be stationary, area that's going to be staying in that one position, whereas a lunge, I'm going to go down, punch back up, okay? So now that you guys kind of know what the lateral lunge is going to look like, we've got several variations for our lateral lunge, okay? So Jalen's going to be doing our body weight lateral lunges. Brandon's going to be doing our lateral lunge with the weight, but his weight's going to be down low. And Selena, her weight's going to be up high in our goblet position, okay? And like I said before, we're going to be following a Tabata timer, which is 20 seconds on, 10 seconds off, 8 times, okay? All right, so let's go ahead and pick up our weights. And we're gonna get started in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good, and to the side. Good, making sure we keep those toes pointed forward. Getting a nice, good deep lunge, making sure we're pushing our hips back, really loading up that glute. And time. There you go. Okay, you guys get a 10-second rest. And then we're going to get right back to it. And 3, 2, 1, and go. Good. There we go. Making sure we're pushing our hips back. Really getting some good activation with the glutes. Good. Good work, everybody. Looking really good. And 3, 2, 1, and rest. Good work, good work. Okay, keep it up. Keep a nice, steady tempo. And we're going. Good, and out. There we go. Nice. Good, you guys have 10 seconds left. And 3, 2, 1, and time. Good work. our next exercise is going to be our reverse fly and our reverse fly variations, where we're going to be really working the post chain upper body, which means our upper back. So for our reverse flies, we have Brandon here. He's got his dumbbells, and he's going to be hinged at the hips. And by hinge at the hips, I mean he's going to be pushing his hips back, hinged here. Arms going to be dropped down right underneath. And he's just going to be raising up those dumbbells, squeezing those shoulder blades together, and relaxing. So contract, relax on these ones. Okay? Then we have Jalen. She's going to be doing our swimmer. And for your swimmer, you're going to be down in a prone position. Arms going to start behind the back. You're going to raise the hands up as high as you can. And you're going to keep them at that height the entire time, rotating up and behind the head and bringing them back around. Okay? So right here and back. Okay? And Selena, she has our band for band pull aparts. Same thing as Brandon's, where she's going to be pulling the bands apart, but she's going to be squeezing those shoulder blades. So as she pulls apart, she squeezes those shoulder blades to get a nice, good activation and contraction of the back musculature. Okay? So, like with all our other Tabata timers, we've got 20 seconds on, 10 seconds off, 8 times. Guys, ready to get started? All right, getting started in 3, 2, 1, and go. Good. Good, making sure to really squeeze those shoulder blades together. Good work, Jalen. Keeping those hands up, following a natural rotation, and time. There you go. Good, so key for the swimmers is to follow that natural progression with the shoulder, okay? And go. Good job, Selena. She's doing a great job not shrugging. It's really easy when you do band pull aparts to shrug and really come up high, but you want to keep those shoulders relaxed. You guys have 3 seconds, 2, 1, and done. Good work. Good, and 3, 2, 1, and go. Good, making sure to hinge at the hips. There you go, being in control. You guys are doing great. Good work. And 3, 2, 1, and time. Good work. All right, so our next exercise is going to be our push-up or horizontal press variations. So we've got several variations with this one. So we've got our standard push-up here. We're gonna have hands and feet in contact with the ground. We've got a band press where the band is gonna be behind the back and you're gonna be pressing out. You can do this one if push-ups are a little bit harder or if you have any compromised shoulder issues. So this is going to be one where you can really work on building up strength in the shoulders and the chest, so where you can finally progress into doing push-ups where you now have a nice and stable base for your shoulders. And then we've got our knee push-ups. So knees are going to be in contact with the ground. We're going to be pressing in and out. Just like our standard push-up, except now with the knees on the floor, it's going to take a little bit of pressure and weight off, making it just a little bit easier, okay? So we've got our Tabata timer. We're going to go ahead and get started in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good work. Cool. So one thing to keep in consideration, you want to have your hands just a little bit closer together. Boom. And you want those elbows to be close and tight to the body for your push-ups. Okay, and go ahead and take 10-second rest. And we're getting started in 3, 2, 1, and go. There we go. Good push-ups. Making sure we're keeping our core engaged the entire time. Pushing all the way up, getting some good extension. We have 5 seconds left. Keep it up, keep it up. 2, 1, and time. Good work, good work. All right, getting started in 3, 2, 1, and go. Good, keep it nice and stable, not letting that back cave down. Stay nice and stable. Good work, everyone. Good work. Keep it up. Keep it up. All right, we got 5 seconds left. 5 seconds. 3, 2, 1, and done. All right, so we are down to our final exercise, which is going to be our glute bridge walk or slide out variations. So for each one of these, we're going to do a different exercise. So Brandon here is going to be doing our glute bridge walkout. So if you want to go ahead and demo that real quick, he's going to do a glute bridge and he's going to walk his feet out with 1, 2, 3, 4 steps out, and then 1, 2 steps in while keeping his hips up off the ground, squeezing those glutes, and he's going to be flowing in and out of those. Jalen has her sliders. If you have sliders, great. If not, you can have socks on a hardwood floor or towel on a hardwood floor to take a little bit of that friction away, so you can slide a little bit easier. But what she's going to do, she's going to do a glute bridge, squeezing the glutes, raising up. She's going to slide her feet out as far as she can, and then she's going to drop down and she's going to pull her legs back in and then raise on up and then slide out, drop down and pull them back in. Okay, so that's going to be her variation. And then we've got Selena, where she's going to be doing the full hamstring curl. So she's going to glute bridge on up. She's going to slide her feet out, and then without dropping her body to the ground, she's going to pull back in. Okay, so she's going to slide out and pull back in. Okay, and then those are going to be our 3 variations for our glute bridge walk or slide outs. Okay, so we got 20 seconds on, 10 seconds off. We're going to go ahead and get started in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and go. Good. Keeping those hips up off the ground, squeezing the glutes the entire time. So those glutes should be elevated the whole time, so try not to let them sink. Good, so keep them up, and pull in. There you go, good, 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 good. And time, go ahead and take a rest. Okay, we're getting started in 3, 2, 1, and go. Good, raise up, walk it on out, pull it on back in, keep those hips up. Good, there we go. Good, Selena. Great. Keep those hips up the whole time. And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and time. Good work, good work. And 3, 2, 1, and up. Good. And then pull back in. There we go. Good work, everyone. Good work. Keep them up, and then pull in. Yep. Okay, we've got 5 seconds. And 3, 2, 1, and time. Good, go ahead, take a rest. All right, so now we finished up our strength training. Now it's time to get to our cool down and our stretches. Our first stretch is going to be some neck circles. So we're just gonna go ahead, get neck circles about 5 to 10 per direction. And once you get that 5 to 10, you're gonna go ahead and switch directions and go to the other side. Making sure that we are in control of our head. We don't wanna just be slinging it around. We want to be nice and deliberate with our circles. Really trying to get a good stretch in with it. Okay, so once we finish up our neck circles, we're going to go ahead and we're just going to open and close the arms. Nice and relaxed. Get them moving. Really try to open up that chest. Get a nice, good stretch, nice and relaxed. Okay, now we're going to go ahead, we're going to bring our right arm across the body. Hold for about 10 to 15 seconds on that side. And we're going to go ahead, switch sides for another 10 to 15. Now once we finish that, we're going to go right arm over the top. Making sure we're not going to slouch over, so we don't want to be here. You want to be nice, tall, and you actually get a lot more out of your stretch by being nice and tall, because here I'm not getting anything, but now my head is actually pushing into my arm, which is giving me a lot more stretch right here, okay? I'm going to go ahead, switch sides, do the opposite side. There we go, making sure that we're breathing throughout each of these stretches, so we don't want to hold our breath during any of these. Okay, all right, so now we're going to go ahead and relax the arms. You can shake them out. Now we're going to meet our hands behind our back, creating a fist, and we're just going to open up our chest and really get a good stretch, especially because we just did those push-ups and our horizontal press variations. So really try to open up the chest. Take a nice deep breath and open up and relax a little bit. Nice, another deep breath. And relax. Awesome. Okay, go ahead, shake it on out. Okay, now what we're going to do, we're going to go ahead, twist it on out. Get a few twists here. And then now we're just going to go ahead, drop it down and hinge. Being nice and relaxed with our arms, letting the momentum swing us from side to side. Okay, and relax. Okay, now let's go ahead and get those feet together. We're going to drop down, touch the toes. And for a good hamstring stretch, what we want to do, we want to have a slight bend in our knees. And we don't want it to be rounded at the back. We want to have a nice flat back, pushing our hips back, sliding those hands down the thighs, down to the shins. If you can't touch the toes, it's okay. But you want to get a nice, good stretch on those hamstrings, and this is a really good way to do so. Okay, so now we've got that. We're going to go ahead, get a nice wide stance, and we're going to drop it down to the right. Hold for about 10 to 15 that side, to the left 10 to 15, and down to the middle. Okay, so we're going to shift that weight down to the right, getting a nice good stretch. And with this one too, if you unlock your knee, you can get just a little bit deeper, and you can unlock another stretch with this one, okay? You can get just a little bit deeper into that hamstring stretch. Okay, now we're going to go ahead and switch sides. Awesome. Like I said, another 10 to 15 seconds. Now we're going to finish this one up, and we're going to drop it down to the middle. And if you want to, you can have the hands, walk them either just right in the middle, or you can reach back to get just a little bit more of a stretch. Awesome. Okay, so now we're just going to walk our hands forward, and now we're going to be in a downward dog facing position for our calf stretch. So go ahead and just stretch out the calves, pedaling those heels down and smashing them to the floor, getting a really good stretch in our calves. Awesome. Go for about 10 reps per side on this one. Really just try to stretch out those calves as much as possible. If one is a little bit more tight than the other, you can go ahead and just leave it down there, hold that for a few more seconds, and then switch over to the next one. Okay, go ahead and drop down to your knees. And now we're going to shift over and we're going to be on our butt for our Hollywood stretch. We're going to go right over left. Right over left. Grab that knee, twist and turn. There we go. Okay, a key for this one is going to be taking nice deep breaths. So I want all three of you guys to take a deep breath. And then I want you to exhale and twist a little bit deeper into that stretch, really trying to open up. Okay, go ahead and take another deep breath. And exhale. Okay, we're going to take one more deep breath and then we're going to switch sides. So in and out. Okay, awesome, coolio. All right, go ahead and switch legs. Same thing, take a nice deep breath and exhale. Inhale, exhale, inhale, and exhale. All right, you guys can go ahead and relax. All right, so that is our stretch and cool down. I want to thank you guys for tuning in and watching the video. Hope you enjoyed, and stay tuned for more.